get married, because they say love is sweet, but when money enter, love is sweeter. So how has it been like when it came to finances before you got married? Now that you're married, is it that did you have a plan or a structure? How was the finances plan like for you? Guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and it's your girl Abisola Adeosun. We can see here today that we have somebody beautiful, as in hey, it was the beauty is blinding me. A beautiful lady, as in she's my sister, my big sister, someone I look up to in so many ways, and someone has a great impact in my life. I'm doing this today, she's one of the reasons, and she's here to to continue on this series on things I wish I knew before I got married. Please, let's celebrate Mrs. I think she introduce herself better. It will come out better.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for viewing. We really do appreciate the commitment. It's going to encourage us to do more. All right. So my name is Mrs. Temitayo Awoyele.
Oh,
nice to meet you all.
Yes, and she's my big cousin. She has been awesome. She doesn't even, as in, she's more of a big sister to me. As in, you think it's the same way that I gave birth to us. The way I see some fine clothes. Me rockets some fine clothes. It's from our wardrobe. And some fine shoes. As in, that's it. But I'm so glad to have her here today to be able to take out time to do this. And let me also mention that she runs a show on Instagram, Mistakes That Made Me. I want you to look it up. I'll also put her Instagram handle here so you can also follow it. It holds it has 8 p.m. every Saturday. Yes, and please don't forget the next Saturday after I release this video, even the Saturday I'm releasing this video, please go and check it out. It's very nice. You learn from other people. She brings a lot of people there, and I've been there once, so you also see the video there. Thank you. So now let's jump right into the video.
All right.
Yes. So there's some things that I have heard that causes issues when it comes to marriages. Like, okay, let's start with the things of finances. You know that, and I know I've heard it from you before. You told me before, you sat me down and had a discussion about finances with me before, that finances is a very key thing when you say you want to get married, because they say love is sweet, but when money enter, love is sweeter. So how has it been like when it came to finances before you got married? Now that you're married, is it that did you have a plan or a structure? How was the finances plan like for you?
Okay, once again, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. As regards finances,
okay,
we actually discussed it.
Okay.
Because where I was coming from, at a point in my life, I was in a particular place where they didn't really have any good thing to say about marriage, and the advice they would always give is, you have to be very careful. Okay. You have to keep your money. You don't join your money with a man, So coming from that background, I needed to thrash that with my husband to be then.
Okay.
So we had a discussion like, how is it going to be? Are we going to have a united account? Are we going to have
joint account?
Exactly, okay, joint account? Or are we going to have like personal accounts or whatever? So what we agreed on is we're going to have our personal accounts individually, and then we're going to have one account for the family.
Wow. Yes.
So which means I have my account, my husband has his account, and then we have an account whereby both of us are investing into. And also we also have investment as a family that both of us are contributing towards.
Wow.
Now when you talk about the percentage, to be honest, there's really no percentage. It's just,
I was about to ask that.
Exactly, there's really no percentage. You just know that, okay, out of your own, if you're earning like 100,000 naira, okay, so a percentage you can spend it, put it in your own personal account, a percentage you pay your tithes, and then a particular amount you send it, to that common purse that we have. So that common purse, that's what we use to pay rent, that's what we use to pay school fees, if we need to buy something, that's what we use. Even though sometimes when it comes to buying things for the house, my husband still does that from his own personal account. He still does that from his own personal account. And I also do. I know as a woman, you see something you want to buy for the house, so you don't have to ask your husband to give you money. You have your own personal account. But when it's a big budget, like maybe you want to buy a house or you're paying school fee, okay, so you can go into that common purse, and then from that common purse, we can take out some money to invest. So whatever proceed you get from that investment is for us. So that's how we do it. So we discussed it. We discussed it before we got married.
Wow, that's the loss. That's the, so.
Yeah.
These are one of the things you have to discuss. Discuss.
It's
See, like I've learned a
important.
lot. See the structure, investment, common purse. Do this. There's a lot. I hope you've learned a lot from that, because there were a lot of lessons to learn from that. Having a common purse, have your personal account. Yes, that's been said. Have a joint account, but let's not be that okay. You have, there's a percentage you must put to whatever you think you can put that is substantial enough. I know that it's not like put it into it, and also you investment. Wealth comes from investment. It's not from just saving and all. So the second thing I would like to ask is about having children, because I noticed that some people will say that when we get married, even Yoruba people, not even Yoruba people, parents. On the wedding day, they'll be telling, they'll start counting, in 9 months' time, we shall come visiting. They want to come and see, and every time it's always twins. Yeah, baby, yeah, baby.
Exactly.
So, what's it like? Like, what was it like for you people? Did you decide that you're going to have children immediately or not? Did the pressure, were there pressures? Okay, let me first start. The first question should be, what was your decision when it comes to having children? Did you plan to have children almost immediately after marriage, or you wanted to have some time?
Before we got married, we also discussed that, and we agreed that we're gonna wait for some time before we start, making babies. We actually decided. The duration, I think we agreed on maybe a year. My husband would have wanted 15 months. He would have wanted 2 years actually. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much. Can we do 15 months or something? And we were transparent about it. We told our parent. I remember there was even, it was a very funny situation, because my parents were like, kill and do what are you waiting for? Come on. But I love the fact that we were transparent about it, and we actually made it known to them that, okay, we want to wait for a while, before because our relationship, we kind of lived apart. Yeah. So we knew that there was going to be a lot of knowing that would take place. And aside that, now this is personal. This is not to say everybody should do that. With a child comes much more responsibility. And so if you don't have a solid foundation already, or you don't have a solid stance, it can actually, what ought to bring you together can actually drive you apart. So in our situation, we said, okay, we're gonna wait for a while. So I think we eventually agreed on maybe a year. That was what we agreed on. And as God would have it, we actually had a baby, I think, 15 months into the marriage. And trust me, before then, we've actually like, okay, enough. Let's start now. But I felt because we had already said it that let's stay 15 months. I think God just stamped it, and He just honored it. So now, talking about pressure, of course, especially because we told our parents initially that we're going to wait for a while. So even when we're not waiting anymore and would want it, they just still feel, they are still waiting, they are still wasting time. So my mom would always call me, Kiniko, what is happening? I was just like, we are fine. But in whole, I think the pressure was more from my own mom. My dad never called me. Okay, I think maybe just once, and it wasn't really like call. It was just like admonishing, okay, is everything perfectly okay with you people? And likewise, my husband's family, I don't think they didn't call. I think his dad also just called once, just to say, okay, is everything okay? I said, oh yes, everything is fine. So I wouldn't say it was a lot of pressure. Nobody came knocking at our door.
No outside. I didn't have outside. Okay, maybe that's good because you're not really close to
okay, so we're far away.
And I think you're going to a church where people are not this.
Okay, so
some people, I used to hear people say in church, some people looking at us and say, what are they waiting for?
Maybe.
And then maybe because another thing is maybe distance.
The distance.
Because I hear the way some people get pressured sometimes. Even I've heard people in my friend, I witness and I'm like, is it by force to?
Well, one thing I would say as regards that is that all your decision, own it. Like whatever you plan to do with your life, own it with your full chest. Once you know that this is what I plan to do and I'm going ahead with it, no matter what people say, you have this resolution like, it's you, I don't care, this is what I want to do. But one thing I realize is people get married without discussing these things. They don't discuss as singles, like, okay, we're gonna wait for a while. You now enter marriage, I'm like, I think we should wait. That kind of conviction is not strong. So if anybody tries to poke at you, you feel like, let me go have my baby, But this is something that we've discussed, we've talked about it, we told our parents about it. So
what you were doing.
Exactly. So we knew this was what we were doing right from time, and there was little anybody could do about it. So I think what really causes the issue with most people is that their resolution is not strong enough, and most of them they just bring it up abruptly. They didn't plan for it, so maybe they saw somebody that did, and I can do it also, and let us do it. So your resolution is not strong. So anytime people pass side comments or they poke at you, you feel exactly, it really gets to you. So that's how I feel. So what I'm just saying is, whatever you want your marriage to look like, start molding it right from your relationship. Start working on it, and yeah, it should be nice.
Thank you so much for that. So you see, own your decisions, make those decisions and own it. So lastly, I would say, are there other things like you really wish, like things you found out when you got married and you're like, if I'd known this, maybe I would have done it better, or things you just want to advise people that, okay, as single ladies, as a single guy, if you know these things, when you get married, you don't have these issues or that issues. Are there anything that come to mind like that?
There's this program I attended some times ago, and just talking about your role and your responsibility. They're two different things, right? You might have a particular role, and then you'll be assigned a particular responsibility that might not even be part of what your role was meant to do. So you need to have an understanding of that. Now, I wish I knew that the role of a wife is totally different from the role of a girlfriend or the role of a woman. In marriage, I got to know that an entity is divided into like four. You're a woman, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a daughter, and you have to function in all capacity fully. So what am I saying? In relationship, come on, I would call it a child's play. It's like a rehearsal for the main performance. You always have your way most times as a lady. The guy you're dating is just a friend. You can do this, but once you get into marriage and you attain that role of a woman, now you're an homemaker. You are also a supporter. If you're not the provider, you're a supporter. You're a counselor. You just immediately put on so many hats. For someone like me who was coming from a background where I was like I was pampered. I was pampered. Everything was done for me. I had this thing, learned helplessness. Like, people would just do everything for me. I was pampered. So coming into marriage, and you are the one calling the shots. Oh my God, it wasn't easy. It was a whole lot. It was a whole lot. So now I know I have to wake up and ask someone, what will you eat? Come on. It was the opposite. People were asking me what I will eat before. So now it's, what will you eat? And then no, it was like a shock. Like, oh my God, is this what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life? And then we had our frictions. Because it's normal. So one thing I would just say is marriage is an entirely different ball game. So it's not difficult, but it needs some adjustment. So what I would say is, as a lady who intends to get married, be flexible, be moldable, be permissible. Okay, be permissible. Be what's the word I'm looking for? Like, when God wants to bend you, do all sorts with you, be willing. It's not easy. You'll fight it sometimes, but with God, all things will be made easy.
With God. See, so I hope you learned one or two things from everything she said. And one thing that she said lastly now is with God. If you notice, there's a lot of places where she's mentioning God. There's always a God factor in relationship.
Yeah, of course.
Talked about this, and it cannot be over influenced. There's always a God factor, and once you carry God along, everything will just be easy. Even when the frictions come, like she spoke about, things will be easy.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Are there any last words for our viewers, for our for my subscribers? Are there anything you want to say to them?
One thing I would just say, because this channel is all about relationship, marriage, and everything, is set your own goals. Okay, please don't view someone else's marriage as your goal. Learn from them, pick what you like from them, and mold your own goals. Oh, I love that, I would love to have it. Oh, I love that, I would love to have it. One analogy that came to mind is, let's say you're cooking okra soup, and while you're cooking that okra soup, you can see your neighbor cooking okra soup also, and maybe she puts in crayfish. You're like, let me try that too. Let me add this crayfish into my And you're not going to go to your neighbor's house and carry your own pot of soup and say, let me leave my own. No, it is her home that I want to. No, you can learn from her. And there's something she will put into her own. You'll be like, no, I don't want that. So what I'm trying to say is, have your own goals with God helping you. You know, it's not easy. Even me that I'm talking, I still do it. Don't compare. Don't compare. You know, have your own goals, what you want to see in your marriage, what you want to see in your relationship, and try to work towards it with your partner. Can two work together except they agree? You know, so have your own goals and try to work on it. So don't even compare. Comparison steals joy. So don't compare at all. Have your own goal with the help of God and build it. That's all.
Thank you very much. You see, have your own goals. Don't compare. Stop comparing. Thank you so much, sis, for coming around.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching this far. We love you. That you even stayed this far.
Have you subscribed?
Please do.
Come on, go and subscribe. Press that subscribe button.
Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment. If you have any questions or something, put it in the comment section so we can take it to continue this series. We're still going to interview more people, even men. So don't worry. Don't think it's only women who will know. We're going to bring men and hear their own views too. Thank you very much, and I wish to see you in my next video. Bye.